What's up everybody, this is AfroDJMac. I want to show you my setup for playing synths live in Ableton. First, of course, I have my computer right up here on this two-tiered keyboard stand. It's hooked up to an Akai MPK49, and I'm also using an OP1 by Teenage Engineering. And finally, I have a Soft Step by Keith McMillan. And that's all the controllers behind my thing here. So let me show you how this works. I have all my faders mapped out to these faders on the screen here. And I go all the way up. I have 7 different synths. You can see those each right here. So I have an analog synth. I have my Korg synth that I made, the guitar harmonics from last week, my CP35, Broken Bells rack, my laptop feedback, my noises, rises, all that stuff is right there on these first 7 tracks. And all of these tracks here are routed into this dummy track. This track doesn't actually do anything except input from all of these tracks. And that allows me to send all of these tracks right into this one track that has this effect rack here. And this is kind of like the rack of the week. This has all different things I can do to my sounds here. And they're all mapped out to these controllers right here. So for instance, I'll turn on my analog sound here. And I can play with the filter. Turn the resonance up, turn on some LFO, play around with the rate too. I also have this delay, which you can see is moving right here now. It's changing the time, and that corresponds here to my soft step on this pedal right here. As I push down on it, you'll notice that on the screen our delay is turning on and also getting wetter. So it sounds something like this. Now when I turn the time delay, I'm pitching this. I have this ping pong set to repitch. So when you change the time in that mode, you get those nice analog twisty sounds. Then let's see, we'll go right back to this here. I have a bit crusher right here, and that's mapped to this knob here. So and that's nice for just giving you some dirty sound, some noise. Next is the tremolo rate. Now, you'll notice the tremolo plugin begins to move when I turn that knob. However, it's not on, and the way we turn that on is by using my soft step, and that's this button right here, number 7. And now when I turn my knobs, I get, more and more tremolo. So I'm going to turn that off. This right here, number 1, is set to a sustain. So when I hold that down and I hit my notes here, I have a sustain until I let go. You'll notice inside my plug-in rack here, I have a frequency shifter, and that is mapped to my mod wheel right here. So as I turn that up, I basically get more and more vibrato. I'll do a different sound. And, okay, so that's just by moving that. Gives me a little bit of vibrato. Okay, and one of the most useful knobs, useful controllers right here is this particular one right here. When I step on that one, you'll notice that all of these parameters here go back to, they're kind of like leveled out. So right there now, that allows me to, you know, make some crazy changes to my sound here. And then at a push of a button, go right back to where I was. Now the way I did that, if you want to take a look at the mapping here, is there, all of these are mapped to my pedal right here. And what it does basically, these mappings are just, you know, it's not changing it too much, it's keeping it within this one little range here. The filter, whether I press it or not, it brings me to there. So that's kind of a useful thing you can do if you ever need to rapidly get your parameters back somewhere. You know, you start messing around with everything and it's all crazy on you. One press of the button and it's back. Okay, you'll notice that I have this OP1 here. And that is routed right into this track right here. And this track is then again routed into our dummy. So that gives me the chance to affect my OP1 as if it were kind of like, you know, a virtual synth. Yeah, I could get some interesting tones out of that. And let's see, I believe I have one last thing to show you. I got these two sends here. I have a reverb on one and a filter delay on the other. And the way I control those, if you notice my dummy track here, is the sends are set all the way up to 0, which means they will feed all of their signal there, or a lot of signal. And I just turn that on by moving this fader up. I mapped these two sends to this fader. And that's the same thing for the OP1. I got my delay going right there. Little technique that kind of helps keep things clean for my delay, so I can still hear my notes, is that I have a compressor with a sidechain on, and that sidechain is listening to audio from the dummy track, which is where my synths are coming out, and compressing this delay whenever the synths are sounding. So that allows my main synth to cut through all that delay. The delay is lowered in volume and then rises back up once I let go of the note. If you want to just hear the difference, I'll turn it off. It's kind of confusing, can't really tell what I'm playing, but when I have that helps a lot. And you know, over here is my little cheat sheet for the songs that we play. Just helps me remember where I am. And you know, that about does it. I'm sorry, one last thing I wanted to show you guys. The whole reason I have this whole dummy thing set up is so that I can do some synth morphing here. So like, I might be playing a song that requires that sound, and then you know, the next part I might want something softer. So now I can fade in and out between these really quick. Raise things up. And even bring in a different sound if I wish. I'll quickly reset all that. And basically, by sending everything through the same effects, I'm treating it as one, and it gives me the freedom to morph things really nicely. pretty useful. It's a nice way to have a lot of synth sounds at your disposal and a lot of effects ready to go. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope that helps a little bit. And thank you for joining me. Take care.